Hey guys, SirVern back here, and today I am reviewing Stray for the PS5. It's also on PC and I believe PS4 as well, but I played it on the PS5. So what is Stray? Stray is an exploration, action, puzzle game, and you play as a cat. So hear me out, it's a different game. It's definitely not going to be for everybody. But it's definitely for me. This was a very unique game, and I'm going to get right into it, and I'm going to go over the 5 categories that I normally do. I'm going to go over graphics, performance, gameplay / story, replayability, and then fun factor. Give each of those categories a score from 1 to 10, and then average it up and kind of give you my thoughts. I don't really do spoilers in any of my reviews, so this will be early game footage and spoiler free. So let's start with the graphics. As you can see in some of the footage I'm showing now, the graphics are really well done. This is, I believe, an indie game, so it's made by a smaller team, and it's remarkable what they did with this game. It looks very good. The only thing I can say that maybe a tiny negative is some of the robots are just kind of generic. You know, they're not super detailed, but the environments look incredible. Textures look good. The cat in particular looks very good. Man, it looks great. So I gave it a 9. Especially for an indie game, it's just super impressive to look at. Beautiful game. The next category I'm going to go into is performance. Overall, the game did very well, but I did run into some issues. Just a few though. So there's some frame drops. There was one puzzle in particular where I could get it to drop real low, maybe in the 40s. You know, so it was stable overall, but I did have a few instances where I would see some frame drops. I also ran into a few audio glitches. You can make your cat meow with the circle button, which is a trophy to meow 100 times. But anyway, I was napping, and I was purring. It wasn't meowing, I was purring. And once I woke up from the nap or whatever, it just kept purring, and it was on my controller. So it was just like purring constantly. And after a while, I was like, surely this isn't supposed to be purring like this constantly. So I had to, close the game, reopen it, and it corrected the issue. But I also knocked a bucket down, and the bucket just sat there and did this. It wasn't moving, but the sound it was making sounded like it was juddering on the ground. I think I took a screenshot of a character standing there, but only its clothes. So there was a few instances, so I had to dock it a few points. I gave it an 8 out of 10 for performance. But overall, nothing game breaking. Ran very smooth. Most of the time, I think it was 60 frames a second. And I'm curious to see if Digital Foundry will release a video on this game. I hope they do. Because it looks really good. It's got to be a pretty high resolution. So the next category I'm going to go over is gameplay / story. So this one I debated the most on. Let's do gameplay first. So it's almost like parkour. You're a cat. It's a lot of exploration. And just being a cat, doing funny things, knocking stuff off shelves. Rubbing up against robots' legs, tripping people, which I found just being mischievous. Exploration is just a lot of fun in this game. There's nothing like this, I don't think, on the market, and that's what's so neat about this game. So it's very unique gameplay. There are a few puzzles nothing too hard. I like games where the puzzles are like this, where they're not super easy, but they're not super complex. Now, if I'm playing a puzzle game, I understand if it's complex, but this is not a puzzle game. But it was very interesting. Some of the puzzles were unique. I didn't have to look anything up. I did not watch a review on this game prior, so I am super excited to watch reviews after I get done with mine and see what other people thought. But I really enjoyed we'll get to the story in a second, but the gameplay was fun. I liked the puzzles. I'm not going to get too much into the game, but there's a few things you do besides exploration, a few battle mechanics, believe it or not, that are interesting and cool. I'm glad they threw that in there. So they switched it up on the gameplay. It wasn't just the same thing the whole game. A lot of the, being a cat, but overall, just awesome gameplay. The story. Oh, and, you go from one area to the next area, so, and they kind of, there's different things to do in each area. But anyway, let's get into the story. So, the story. Man, it was so interesting, fun, quirky, funny. I thought it was good. You have a little companion, and you get to learn more about him and more about how these robots ended up like this. It's a really unique and interesting story. I really enjoyed the gameplay, but I liked the story even more. It started cool. There were so many little things to learn about the game. I loved it. So I gave gameplay / story a 10 out of 10. I think they did a phenomenal job with this game. I think it's awesome. Replayability. So a lot of people will probably be curious to learn how long this game is, because I wasn't real sure. I always look at the trophies prior to playing. I don't look at the hidden ones, but I do look at the trophies, and there was a trophy for beating it under 2 hours. So that's possible. It took me 6.5 hours to beat the game. So I did a good bit of exploration / getting lost. But it wasn't a problem getting lost. It wasn't frustrating. You were trying to figure things out, and you get to just explore and be a cat. It was fun. But replayability. So I beat it in 6.5 hours. I explored a good bit. I do want to platinum this game for sure. So I would say one more playthrough to get all the memories, and that's like the collectibles in the game. Learn more about how your little companion ended up that way, and more about the world. So maybe 2 more gameplays. One being the 2-hour, basically parkour through the game. Just learn the game more on the second playthrough, and then the third playthrough just run through in an hour and a half. So max 3 times, and one of them being very short. So I gave it a 5. Not a very high score. I'm always tough on this category. The highest replayability to me, I say this a lot, but it's going to be a strategy game of some kind that I can play and play and play. Now this game, I'll probably do another playthrough pretty soon and just try to get collectibles and get the trophy, every trophy but the 2-hour speed run. And then maybe, in a year from now, come back and get the speed run, or do the speed run next and then look for collectibles. One of the two. But anyway, gave it a 5. Fun factor. So, I had a lot of fun with this game. I did. It was fun, unique. It just had me smiling. You saw that, just little bitty puzzles to go through. All this is very early, by the way, so nothing really spoiler. But I had a lot of fun with the game. Wasn't the most fun I've ever had with the game, but man, it did surprise me. I've been excited for this game for a while. Reached out for a review code. Didn't get that. I'll have to wait till this channel gets a little bigger, but I had a lot of fun with the game, so I gave it a 9. So go over them one more time. Graphics 9, performance 8, gameplay / story 10, replayability 5, fun factor 9. If I average those up, that's an 8.2 out of 10. I think that's a really good score. It's a really good game. And some notes I wrote. So unique. It's has fun platforming, and I swear it's like parkour as a cat. It even has a little combat, which is really cool. You get to meet some interesting characters. It's a good length. I think, I'm at the point now where playing a game like Days Gone or Horizon Zero Dawn, a Fallout, something like that takes 60 and 80 hours to beat, those are great sometimes, right? But it's also really nice to have a game that's a 5-hour game or a 6-hour game like this. And the biggest thing, the biggest element this game has is unique. There's nothing like this out there. It's just, it just gets old having the same kind of shooter or open world, go here, complete this, go here, complete this kind of game. This is unique, artistic. There's nothing like it. So I had an awesome time with it. One thing I wrote is a good price too. I actually got this that's included with PlayStation Premium, PlayStation Plus Premium, I should say. I had the PlayStation Now, and then so I already had it, so they just combined it, and I had PlayStation Premium. So I prefer my games physical, so I ordered this from PlayAsia. So that'll be here sometime in September. But it is $30, I believe, and it's worth every penny of $30. It's not a very long game, but like I said, you can replay it a few times. And this may be a game, especially if you're, a cat fan, that just makes you smile. It's a relaxing game. Me and my buddy were talking. You could just chill out. The music's good. I don't think I mentioned that. It has some good music. Just relaxing, fun, great, wholesome game. I really enjoyed it the whole entire time. I beat it in 3 sittings. I was determined to beat it the day it came out, to try to get this review out that day. But just couldn't make it happen. I'm so tired that day. But anyway, thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by. SirVern out.